All right, so who you sitting down with today?
I'm Nysiah.
And this is live from the basement. So, Nysiah, can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and what your upbringing was like?
Yeah, I'm from Altoona. I was born here.
Oh, wow.
And then I lived in Roaring Spring for a little bit, bounced around a little bit. Now I'm back in Altoona. But just been cooking it up, chilling with my boys.
Right. And what was life like for you, just growing up out here in small town and all that?
It was good. Like, obviously, like trials and going through shit, but fairly easy, I would say.
Right.
The transition. I moved here because I lived with my gran until I was, I'd say, 14, 15, maybe like 8th grade. And then I moved back here, and then I've just been living here ever since. It's been pretty easy, but the transition was pretty smooth.
So, what got you into music? Like, got you into making music?
I've always loved music. Like, ever since I was a kid, I was like singing and performing for my family and stuff like that. And like, I started like writing raps and stuff like whenever I was like 9 or 10.
Right.
Just like messing around, just, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know, Pierce started really getting into it, like SRG Python.
Right.
Really started getting into it, like, I'd probably say like 6th, 7th grade. Yeah, he started getting into it. And then like, I started like engineering for him and stuff like that. And still do now.
Right.
But then I would just like mix all the tracks and just like punch them in and everything. And then eventually I was like, fuck it, I want to do this shit too because it's so fun and like the whole process is just like awesome.
Right. So, what got you into audio engineering? Like, what made you decide like I want to start mixing music and stuff like that instead of? Are you a producer? I don't mean to cut you off. Are you a producer?
No, I'm not like I don't like make beats or anything like that, but I definitely do mix, like, I would say like almost everybody in SRG's like music. Definitely Jacob, XL, and SRG Python stuff. I don't really mix Randy's stuff,
Right.
Dolores stuff, but because he kind of like does his own thing, but I'd like to. He kind of
Right.
He's very like, I don't know, protective over his stuff, but
Understandable. Well, so what made you decide to want to do that though? Like,
like I said, Pierce, like I was just doing it for him, and I just really started like falling in love with it. Like I would like listen to like music, and I'd be like, how are their vocals so crispy, and like how do they get it to sound like that? Like I obsess, like right now still, I obsess over the fact like how they get their vocals to sound like that, and I try to like replicate that as closely as possible. And I don't know, it drives me insane almost, kind of like I'm just obsessed with it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just another part of the music that I'm really passionate about.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, your mixes do be clean, bro. Like,
Thank you.
And I mean, you've been mixing a lot of people's stuff because I'm sure you don't just do SRG stuff, right? You've done other people's.
No,
well.
yeah, I've done some other people's stuff too.
Right. So, are you ever thinking about getting into producing? Because it's kind of like the same process. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I've definitely been talking to X out about it because, as everybody knows, he's been producing, cooking up his own stuff and going fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and my other producer friend, Medieval.
Shout out to Medieval.
Shout out to Medieval for real. But I've been like talking it up, like chopping it up and talking with them like about producing and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm only one person, you know what I mean? I can't like,
Right.
I feel like it'd be a lot for me to rap and produce and then mix but I feel like at the same time that would make me like stand out. So definitely. I really want to like gain that skill.
I think you could do it, bro. Well, I was the same way, so I started making beats first, and then like people were saying like, if you make beats, you can be an engineer, and I was like, really? And I didn't start engineering until probably like 3-4 years ago, honestly.
Really?
So, yeah. So like, and I shoot too and stuff. Like, it's good to do it. I feel like as an artist, and I'm not gonna talk your head off, but as an artist, sometimes when you get other people to do it, they never get your vision 100% how you want it. It's always gonna be something that was missing.
Yeah.
So just having creative control in general, man.
Yeah, that's really like the thing for me. Like at a certain point, I was like I not like gave up, but I kind of stopped caring about the mix. At a certain point, I was like I said, it almost drove me crazy. I was like obsessing over it way too much. I was thinking about just paying somebody to do it for me, and then I was thinking like, why would I even do that whenever I could gain that skill and just keep working on it alongside rapping.
Of course. But you know it's crazy. A lot of times the stuff that we obsess over, casual listeners don't even catch it. So it's like we'll go through all that stuff, racking our brain, trying to get it perfect, and nope, they'll not even catch it. It's crazy. But I guess other musicians will catch it. But
yeah, for sure. Like there's stuff that like I'll play, and whenever I'm like mixing a track, because I'll go upstairs, mix it, and then I'll come downstairs and listen to it like on better speakers and stuff like that. And for most people that like we have over, they're like, I can't really hear a difference, but I can hear the difference. Like it's so weird whenever you like get in that.
It is, and you gotta think too. Look at Me by X, right? You know, he purposely had that song mixed bad and it still blew up. So it's like to an extent it matters, but I think it matters more to us.
Yeah, I feel like as an artist it matters probably more than it should. It's more about like the music, but for me, I don't know. I try to replicate that like almost industry standard sound, but I try to break and try different shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, of course. So as far as with SRG, right? Mm. You were there kind of like at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So how did you get into SRG?
So SRG was like, it was mainly Pearston, SRG Python, and Eternal Delore. And they were just doing stuff and like collaborating and doing different stuff. And we really didn't like make SRG official until I'd probably say around like the SRG tapes volume 1. It was like a thing, and we were pushing it, but I would say that's when it was really cemented, was that first tape. I joined just by making music and making music with Randy, Eternal Delore, and making music with Python, and they were like, well, you're automatically, like, I was basically like automatically in just because I was there from the beginning, and I didn't suck.
Right. Nah, that's dope, man. Like I said in the Dolores interview, Exile interview, I love seeing like the group thing. That's how I came into like doing this, was as a group. And I feel like that was like the funnest times for me, like being honest, just like recording with your boys and stuff. It don't have to be no competition, everybody just having fun with it, But with that being said, you're also a solo artist.
Yeah.
So how do you balance like being in a group and still doing your thing as a solo artist? So.
Honestly, like the guys make it fairly easy. If they make it easier, I would say, than if I was a solo artist, because I have like-minded people around me that are trying to achieve the same goal, and they all know what I want, and like they know what my vision is, and they can tell me, yo, you can do this better, you can do that better. You know what I mean? Whenever you're alone, it's just you. You know what I mean? And I do that by myself, but I'm kind of like my own worst critic. Like I'd probably never drop music if they didn't tell me, yo, bro, this is fucking fire. What are you doing? Like, why is this just sitting in the vault? And I'm like, yeah, you're right, actually.
No, definitely, man. That's another thing I like having about a group is like you can bounce ideas off each other. And they'll be honest with you. And they'll grind you up in a playful way where like they really just want to see you do better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's like it's very much like, even though they're my brothers, it's very much friendly competition almost, like to try to like push the boundaries of what we're doing and stuff like that.
Nah, definitely. So let me ask you this. Your album that's on streaming services, Nysiah, that's not your first project, is it? That's like, I would say my first full like project, like my first full like an LP. Yeah,
I would say, like I had a little EP, the October MP3, and that had 3 tracks on it. But other than that, like the Nysiah tape was the first actual like tape that I had.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, you got a lot of bangers on that one.
Thank you.
I didn't. So when I went back and listened to your catalog, I realized a lot of the stuff that you was performing was off of that project. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, like you really got some shit. But as I was listening to it, I noticed that you kind of like do rap, but it's more like it's like a rock / rap type thing. I don't know how to describe that, so correct me if I'm wrong. But like, how would you describe your music for those who don't know?
I honestly, I don't know. I would describe it as, I like to make music that people can just vibe to. Like I like the art form of rap like and challenging myself to like come up with better bars and uh, you know, like different unique flows and stuff like that. But I just, at the end of the day, I want to make something that somebody can like turn on and they can, if they sit down and listen to it, they're gonna really fuck with it. And if they are just chilling at a party, they're gonna be able to fuck with it like at all times. Different stuff for like chilling and just smoking or getting hype and whatever. I'm all about like vibes basically.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
I can see that. And then your next project you recently dropped.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a couple weeks ago. Like it was back in it was in the beginning of April, right? So, Flashback.
Yeah.
First of all, the cover hard. You feel
Thank
me?
you.
That's
Shout
what made
out
me
to-
want to listen to it more. I was like, yo, that cover looked tough, so it's got to be a tough album. But go
Thank
ahead.
you.
What you gonna say?
I was gonna say shout out to Python. He cooked that cover up crazy.
Yeah,
I
no, that's
also
hard.
kind of wanted to go back. You said how I would like describe my music. I would consider myself like a melodic trap artist, kind of.
Right.
But I don't like to categorize myself. I like to try to do different stuff.
No, I like it, man. It's like, and you have like choruses that are almost like chants. In a way.
Yeah.
Is that like by design, or you just kind of happen to do that in the process?
I just kind of happen to do that. I also think that like repetition is good. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whenever it kind of like just drills it into people's head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't really think about it too much whenever I'm in there. I kind of just go.
My bad. You were cut off in the middle of your answer. What were you saying as far as how you describe your music?
I would describe my music as like a melodic trap artist, but I don't really like to categorize myself too much because I try to do different things. I don't really want to box myself in, but that's the like the type of music I have the most fun making is like I would consider it melodic trap.
Right. So Flashback. How did that project come about?
So honestly, I was just making tracks and I just started listening to them because I don't really, I don't know, like my process is a little bit different. I try not to put too much pressure on it or like be like, okay, well this has to be a certain way. I just try to make stuff and then whenever I find a certain direction I want to go for, I kind of then go in that direction. And I was just listening to all the tracks and I was like, these really fit together, they flow well. And when I dropped the song Flashback, I was like, well, this will be nice because I have a lot of older songs that fit this vibe that I'm going for and like this sound, and they need to get out anyway. So I just kind of wanted to put out, I would say like my best unreleased stuff from the past, which is why it's also called Flashback.
Right. That's dope, man. That's dope. It's a good project, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I don't have a favorite track yet because I feel like I gotta listen to it more, but I just listened to the project the whole way through, honestly, just to kind of get a feel for like what type of artist you are and stuff like that. I do feel like as SRG as a whole, like y'all kind of are on a similar vibe, even though y'all still do your own separate things.
Oh yeah.
But y'all all kind of do have like a thing that y'all could like make it as a solo artist. But I do hope that y'all stick together, honestly.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's
in my personal opinion, like I don't really see we're very like I don't know, we're very similar creatively and we don't really clash too much whenever it comes to like who's doing what or what's doing this. We also try to keep it always fair. Like if we perform, we try to make sure that each person gets X amount of songs and X amount of minutes. Like, you know what I mean? We try to keep everything fair so nobody's out in front more than the other, so everybody kind of can do their own thing but can feel like they're a part of something, you know what I mean? And that's the whole purpose.
I did notice that. Like even with the last set you did at DJ Zay Brick show, it was like everybody did a song, then y'all did group songs. So I like the fact that y'all try to make sure everybody gets the same amount of spotlight. I don't feel like y'all got a diva in y'all group. You feel me? It feels like they're the leader or anything like that. Y'all all kind of march together. You know.
Everybody plays their own role, 110%. Like everybody has a role, and I feel like they know what their role is, and they play it perfectly. So I feel like it's very nice.
So what would you say your role is?
I would say my role is rapper, vocalist, and audio engineer, mixing engineer.
Right, though. So let me ask you this: with your project, man, do you have any visuals coming as far as like?
Yeah, I definitely want to do I think 3 videos for. I don't want to say what songs they are yet, but I
Right.
definitely want to do 3 videos, and I want to put out a visualizer for every single one of the tracks, and then put like Spotify canvases up. But it's coming. It takes a little bit of time.
Right. So let me ask you this: how do you stay like creative and like inspired? You know.
One thing I will say is like, I I get in like creative funks a lot, like where I like kind of doubt myself and like overthink a lot of things. I try not to do it. I'm like working on it, but I feel like most artists kind of go through things like that, like writer's block and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But what I've been doing recently is I just go in there, and if I like the beat and I like what I'm hearing, I just go in and I just flow, and I just whatever I think or whatever I feel, I just say it, and then I'll just put it out there, and then I'll sleek it up and re-record stuff and do different stuff like that. But I try not to. I try to let it be very natural and just in the moment, just however I'm feeling, and then that usually keeps me pretty creative, because then I'm not overthinking it, trying to make something very specific.
Right. So what is your advice to like aspiring engineers?
Um, Aspiring engineers, I would say just find somebody, like I would say find an artist, an underground artist that you like, or if you have a friend that makes music or whatever. If you're like I really want to get into this, see if your friend or somebody else will invest the time into you to gain that skill, and just keep working on it. Watch videos. Everything you need is online. Like I've never taken like a class or anything for it like that. It would probably help, but I don't know. I feel like experience is better than anything like that. So I would just say go online, do research, and just actual practice, and just keep doing it over and over and over again. Try different things, experiment. You know.
Definitely, definitely. So as an artist out here, like have you been paying attention to the music scene like early on, or have you kind of just been focused on you and SRG for the most part?
Honestly, like, you mean the music scene around here, or the music
Yeah,
scene
just
in general?
just around here, not mainstream.
Not
Not
really.
really?
If you want to be honest, I'm very like focused on myself and what we're doing, and the people that the people I surround myself with. Everybody, like, who you are, like,
Yeah.
I rock with you. I keep my circle tight. I keep it small for a reason. But I mean, there are people around here for sure, like, that are really good, and I can see doing stuff like shout out Squint,
Right.
Seek, shout out Yearn, like
Yeah,
shout
to
out
Yearn.
KJ. He's coming up. He's doing some crazy shit.
Right there.
But yeah, like there's definitely people around here that I pay attention to and I'm tapped into, but other than like a few select people that I think are like really good and have like really good potential, like I don't know, I'm very much in my own world, I guess, and what we're doing. You know what I mean? I'm not really too focused on all that stuff.
That's understandable, man. So you kind of got like tunnel vision, really.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I don't. Not that I'm not open to collaborating with people, because I have, and I continue, like, I want to continue to do so, but I feel like me focusing on what other artists are doing is not going to help me in my path for music. Obviously, I stay tapped into like what's what's going on, like new sounds and new stuff like that, new music, but I'm not really. I don't know. I try to keep it fresh for myself, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
all my ideas come out and they're semi-original, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So like, what's some challenges that you face along the way of like trying to be an artist?
Just people telling you like be realistic, like don't do, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, and I mean, maybe it doesn't work out, but I would say it's going pretty good for me so far, and for the guys. Like, I definitely think if we keep the gas on it, like there's something here. I don't know. You have one life, so live it to the fullest extent. If you want to be a YouTuber, you want to be a streamer, you want to be a musician, you want to be a videographer, you want to, whatever you want to do that shit, because you know, once it's done, it's done. Like, you don't get a second chance. Like,
I agree, man.
Live life to the fullest. Do whatever you want.
What I will say though, it's good that you picked up a skill from the music that you could use with other people and not just yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know, because I feel like that'll always keep you kind of in the loop, and it just gives you opportunities, man. You never know. Like, you could be engineering for a big time artist someday.
I would love that.
I feel like being an artist is the hardest job. It comes with the most stress.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it pays the least, but you know, at this level, you're the last person to get paid, really.
Yeah.
So, like, definitely having other skills is a start. You feel me? So it's not unrealistic, you know, chase your dreams and stuff like that. Even as an artist, man, it's like, you know, every person that did something crazy in this world, they were the first person to do it. They was thinking it, and they.
Oh yeah.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I just had a meeting the other day just to see about getting funding and stuff like that for stuff like the music scene and stuff like that. And the first thing they said was, yeah, well, we seen music scenes come up a few times, but they always die. And I'm like, well, that's not, like, you just have no hope. But for me, I still believe that it could happen. I just feel like it wasn't meant to happen then, you know?
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you're still keeping it going, man. Definitely hard.
Yeah, I would love to just like keep it pushing and just keep going. I don't know, like, my thing is like, I try to think of it as like, I would rather train super hard for a race and know that I got like third than not train at all and get like seventh and then always wonder like, oh my gosh, I wonder what I could have done. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So I don't want to think about the what ifs. I just want to do it and just see what happens.
Right. So what are some of your long-term goals for this music thing that you're chasing?
Honestly, I just want to have people that genuinely care about my music, genuinely support my music, which I do, but on obviously a much bigger scale. I would love to have like people that, you know, genuinely listen to my music and it helps them in some certain form or fashion, and you know, either gets them hype or they're like, oh, this song helped me through a breakup, or you know, whatever the case may be. I just hope that like my music can reach a wider audience and resonate with people. And I also would like to, you know, obviously be able to live and like make a career out of this and, you know, make money off of it. But that's not like why I do it. It's for fun. Like, I just love doing it. I don't know, it's just the greatest thing in the world, like, in my opinion.
Definitely, man. Can't live without it. Got a real passion, you know.
Yeah.
But so what can we expect from you in the future?
I honestly, right now, I'm working on another project. I've been lacking, definitely been lacking, but just because I haven't dropped anything doesn't mean I'm not working on anything. I'm definitely working on stuff. It's just behind the scenes, and I'm very picky with what I want to put out, but I feel like it just needs to come out, and I've been, you know, doing different stuff, trying different stuff, so I definitely want to put out another project this year, maybe two.
Oh,
I don't want to get anybody's hopes up or, you know, confirm anything, but definitely another project this year for sure.
Definitely. So if people are looking for your music and stuff like that, where can they find your music? What's your social media handles and all of that stuff?
SRG Nysiah on Instagram, and then you can find me on like any streaming platform. It's just Nysiah, Nysiah.
And do you have any motivational words for the viewers?
Yeah. Don't listen. Fuck the noise. Don't listen to the haters.
Right.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Realistically, it's your life. No one, you know. I mean, as long as you're living and you're not, you know, I don't know. You're not being a bum, I guess. But like,
right.
As far as your dreams or whatever, do whatever you want to do. Like I said, you only have one life, and at the end of this, it's over. So do whatever you want to do. Go as far as you want to go. whatever you want. The world is your oyster. Do whatever you want to do.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Did you want to introduce your boys that's doing music as well?
Yeah.
If they want to, go ahead and hop on the scene.
I'm gonna introduce KJ real quick. You want to pop in?
Right.
It's my boy KJ.
Right there.
He is right here. He's just been working on music. Just been starting. Probably like how long ago do you think he started?
I really started probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, but I've always been kind of messing around with it, band lab and stuff,
Right.
Yeah, he would come over to the crib and just fucking freestyle and shit. I'm like, bro, you have to fucking like record this shit. He started recording shit and it's fire, bro. So I'm really excited to see like him grow as an artist and like just put more and more shit out. Like we were literally just working on something right before we came here. So after this, we're about to go and finish that up and hopefully get like a little 3-piece done or something.
That's tough, man. And are you an artist as well, or just him? So let me ask you this: how important do you think it is, like, to take other upcoming artists under your wing, kind of like help them?
I think it's very important. Like I don't think that necessarily I've taken him under my wing, but
Right.
I would say like I'm definitely trying to help him grow into his own artist and do his own thing, and definitely be there for him whenever he needs like any sort of like help or guidance or tools to do whatever he would like to do. For sure. But I think it's very important to try to like help other like artists that are just starting out or just like trying to get into music, because I didn't really have that whenever like me and Python and Delore were doing stuff. We had nobody to teach us like, hey, you should probably fuck with the compressor so that way your vocals aren't quiet as fuck, and you probably shouldn't have the reverb cranked all the way up so your vocals aren't being drowned out and stuff like that. So, and just different little things like that I wish that I had somebody to teach me about, that I just I would like to pass on to newer artists that are just starting out.
No, it's really, really grateful for that. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm really grateful for that.
Of course, bro, of course.
So, can we expect anything coming soon from you?
I've been working on more of like a single guy right now. I do want to drop a little 5-track EP. I want to call it Graduation, honestly. Probably drop it around when Altoona and Hollidaysburg graduates, somewhere around then.
That's dope, man. Well, I appreciate you. Hold on one second. I gotta do my outro. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the platform. Definitely. I haven't heard your music yet, but I'm looking forward to hearing it. If you do, I gotta follow you too, so you can send it to me and stuff. Go check out Flashback. Very dope project. Hard. It's like 11 songs on it. It's I'll probably put the link, cause I'm starting to do that now, putting the links in the comments when I drop interviews and stuff like that, so they'll be able to check it out. Is there anything that you want to leave the viewers with before you go?
Yeah, like I said, just thanks everybody for supporting and checking out my music and just helping me do whatever, like helping me like basically do my dream, you know what I mean? I appreciate every single listen, every single follow, everything. Like I said, another project is coming this year for sure, 100%. Make sure you watch out for KJ, because he's definitely on the come up.
Soon.
But yeah, that's about it. What's your IG?
My IG is Keith Dinkins on IG right now. Still gotta buy my username. It's taken. SoundCloud is just KJ. Literally 2 words, 2 letters. I mean, K and J.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you guys stopping by.
Thank you for having
Two
me.
very dope artists, man. And we signing out. This is Live from the Basement, man.
All right, peace.
Bet.